I also think that I am almost just about ready for fall, and it's only like the middle of July. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Elisa and I like to make all sorts of fun videos related to knitting, crocheting, and sewing. In today's video, I am just doing another fun knitting podcast here. I like to share everything that I've been working on, things that I've finished, anything new that I have bought for my yarn stash or my crafting hobbies. And I pretty much just go through that sort of format. I don't really have a ton of finished objects. Despite me last filming over a month ago, I just haven't had the time to knit. I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is. Me and my husband have been very busy. This is the first weekend I think that we saw in 2 months where we are actually home and we don't have plans. I'm hoping that I can actually get a ton of videos filmed and edited and get ahead of schedule, because I totally fell behind schedule last month and I'm still trying to catch up. Anyway, so the only thing I think I really have finished is this crossbody bag that I made, and I actually have a video that I'll have tagged as well. It should be up on the channel and I'll put it in the tag up here, but it is a crossbody bag that I made and it zips like this. Just can be nice and easy to throw your phone in there, maybe some feminine products, pretty much easy to go where you don't really want to take your whole purse or something. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I was inspired by a lot of things that I had seen on Instagram and Pinterest, and I also wanted to use up some of my scrap yarn-ish. It's a bunch of acrylic yarn. All of these are Red Heart Super Saver, so it's a bunch of acrylic yarn that I am just trying to slowly go through. I'm probably going to end up donating quite a bit of it, but I don't know. I thought this was a cute little project. It was so stressful though to actually put together, and it is by no means perfect, and it's also pretty small. I could fit a few things, but it wasn't anything crazy. And yeah, I don't know, I think it's cute. I don't know how much I'll actually use it. I almost used it, but then realized it was going to be way too big for me to take into the baseball stadium, so I ended up just throwing my stuff, I think, in my husband's wallet, just really my ID and card. But yeah, not my greatest not my greatest work here. This is me trying to sew the lining down, but I don't know, she got the job done, and it was sort of entertaining to make until my sewing machine decided to stop being a sewing machine. I don't know. I'm going to pull it back out today, and fingers crossed that it does not give me any grief, because I have a lot of projects that I want to work on. But if it's not going to be cooperative, it's just not going to happen. So yeah, this is pretty much the only thing that I have done, and I use the same stitch pattern that I did with my bag that I made. I'll insert a picture here if I have it. And yeah, not too bad, but I think I'm going to continue using this stitch pattern, crocheted Granny Square Flower. I think it's the Starburst or something. I have a fun idea and I hope it'll work out, but I kind of want to make a backpack like this, but we'll see. So that's really the only finished object I have. I have quite a few whips, which is pretty good. Usually I only am a monogamous knitter, but I've decided to start a ton of projects at this point. So the first whip is one that we have seen here on the podcast, but I think it was just the top, but I have the Lakes Pullover by Ozetta, and so far this is how, this is really all that I have left. I just have a few more centimeters of the cuff, the sleeve cuff, and I just have to leave it ends. I don't even know if you can fully see the size of this sweater. One sec. Okay, that might help a little bit. But yeah, this is just going to be a huge, oversized, cozy sweater. It's the Lakes Pullover by Ozetta. I am knitting it with Karen cakes, the Karen Blossom cakes. So it's like this blown fiber and it's very fuzzy. I have heard that once you block it, it's not nearly as like fuzzy, but that's good because as I have been knitting with this, it has literally been like flying everywhere and I feel like I sneeze all the time with it. So hopefully that'll help get rid of those really loose fibers. But yeah, it's a cotton and acrylic blend. I like the stripes. Honestly, I think it's such a cozy, cute little sweater. I love that it kind of gives scrappy vibes, but like not at the same time. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And the construction is like a saddle shoulder. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very cool how like you just continue knitting onto the sleeve. So I'm very excited to be done. I think I have like another 40-ish minutes of knitting on this, and then I'll do the tubular cast off, and then she'll be like done and ready. So I am super excited to use this in the fall. I think it'll be a great fall and spring garment to have because it's that cotton blown fiber, so it's a little bit airy, but it's also a worsted weight, so it's pretty heavy. So I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be good. But yeah, I really like her, how she's coming out. The funny thing is I had only bought 2 skeins of yarn in this fiber, and I had pretty much finished the sleeve and the body and the collar. I only had this sleeve left, and I had such a small, I had this much left. So I was going to need another skein of yarn to finish this, and when I had checked for like 2 weeks in a row, they were out of stock at my local yarn store and then also online. So I was like panicking that I wasn't going to be able to finish this sweater. I did see that there were some Etsy shops that were reselling the yarn as well, so I was like, okay, worst comes to worst, I can pay, you know, $20-ish for a skein and I'll be able to finish my sweater. Thankfully, it didn't come down to that, and they restocked online. I ordered it, and my husband was so kind, and he paid for my shipping. I don't like spending money on shipping. I'm very frugal in my mind. My husband thinks I can be cheap sometimes, but I was like so upset because they had it in stock in the Woodbury store. So I was like, okay, I'll just go to that store. But it was also over the holiday, and he's like, you don't need to go to the yarn store over the holiday. And I'm like, I know, but I don't want to pay for shipping. And he was so nice, and he's like, I'll pay for the shipping. Well, we took it out of our joint budget. He's like, we'll pay for the shipping. You just have to pay for your yard, and like, don't even worry about it. I was like, okay. So I got my last skein. I'm gonna have way more than I need, especially because this is literally all that I have left. And I don't know, if you guys have any good ideas, maybe a matching hat for this amount of yarn, I would like to know, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, and I'm not gonna like try and make something where I need to order more, because I think this was good for me. I thought about doing another color because I like the fiber. It's very soft, but I don't know, the amount that like just falls in the air, it's making it a little bit less desirable, and I'll have to see how it wears. But yeah, I'm very excited about this whip. Very close to being done. The next whip that I have is I started my other sock. If you saw the last podcast, I had finished this sock, well, the first one, and it's pretty much just a lace sock that I'm using one of my charts in my Japanese stitch knitting Bible book. I'm following one of the charts there. And I'm just making this really cute little lace sock, and I just added a nice little dainty picot edging to it. And I've just enjoyed doing this. I was knitting on it when my husband had his softball tournament a few weekends ago, and I realized that like it's not the best sock to be knitting when I kind of need to pay attention and make sure I don't get hit by like a foul ball or something. I was doing it while they were playing BP, and yeah, so I pretty much did a few rows and then I'm like, this is not the atmosphere for lace. But yeah, it's coming along. I think I have just a couple more rounds of the chart and then I can do my heel, and then as soon as I do like the heel and the heel turn and the gusset, it just flies because it's just half of it being lace because I knit the bottom, and it's a nice cute little shorty sock. And I have just been slowly, casually working on this one. Nothing too crazy there. I am actually knitting it on a 2.5 millimeter needle, or a US 1.5. So if you've seen my last few videos, you already know that I thought I was knitting with a 2.5 millimeter needle on all of my previous socks, but in reality I was knitting on a US 2.5 knitting needle, so I thought it was very funny when I found that out. I'll have that video linked if you're at all curious. And then that's that whip. The next whip was just sort of something I started last second. So the bag that I showed you, the crossbody bag that I showed you at the beginning of the video, that was originally intended to be able to take into stadiums and like fit the size requirement, but it's a little bit too big. I knew that. I decided to finish it anyway. But I decided I wanted something that I actually could do. So most of them, it's like a 9x5x2 inches here in the US to take into stadiums. Otherwise you have to have like a clear bag. And I decided to cast on this. I cast this on at my husband's tournament. And I think I knit like most of it there. I've only done a few rows outside of it, but it's just plain stockinette. And I guesstimated, I pretty much did Judy's Magic cast on, and I guesstimated what the length would be roughly. Didn't measure or anything, I just kind of was like, okay, this looks about right. And then I think I increased once just to make it a little bit more like rounded, I guess. And then I knit like an inch, and I was like, okay, I probably should like measure and make sure that this is the correct size, otherwise I'm gonna be wasting my time and this is gonna be like just such a small unfunctional bag. And I got it perfectly at 5 inches, so I was like stoked. It's literally perfect. So now I've just got a few more inches, probably like 3 or so more inches, maybe 4, to knit of the body. And then my goal is to have like it lined so that way it doesn't stretch out, because obviously like if you stretch it, it's going to become more than 5 centimeters. So I want to have a lining so it doesn't stretch, and then a little zipper at the top. And then I'll make like, I don't know if I'll knit it, I might just go and buy like some faux leather straps and connect them to there. But I'll have a cute little stadium bag where it'll pretty much just be enough for me to fit my phone, maybe some keys, maybe like some feminine products, and just, yeah, my license and card pretty much. So I am knitting this with some harvested yarn that I got from a thrifted cardigan. I decided to get a cardigan. I wanted it to be part of like the Something Old Something New cal that Taylor from Wool Needles Hands was hosting earlier this year. Didn't get around to making anything with it. I think I barely even like salvaged the yarn in that same time period, but I have quite a bit of it, so I was like, okay, well, let's just make a bag. It's pretty much like a cotton polyester is what I would assume. I don't really know because the label was gone. It's definitely cotton though. And yeah, it's just been knitting up pretty nicely. If anybody is at all interested, leave me a comment down below and I wouldn't mind telling you exactly what I did so that way you can make one as well. And we'll have to see just how it comes out with like the lining, because the last time I did the lining, that bag did not turn out great. But yeah, we'll have to see. I'm enjoying it. It's a nice stockinette stitch, so I just pretty much take it with me in the car. I have kept it at my office for like on my breaks, just something easy to do and knit. And these, I believe I'm knitting on like 3mm. Yeah, I'm knitting them with 3mm needles on ChiaoGoo knitting needles. So it's coming along pretty well. I don't know how long it'll take me to finish, but probably not too long. That is just a fun little whip on the side. I think I'll probably line it with this lining. I thought this would look pretty well with that color. I don't know, I think it would be a cute little bag. So we'll have to see how that goes. My next whip is this. So if you've watched my channel, or if you're returning to my channel and you've seen a few previous videos, you probably already know what this is. But yes, this is the start of a kitchen towel, and I'm knitting it with just regular cotton yarn that I got at Joann's. It's just like big twist in like a beige color. But these, yes, it is currently on a chopstick. So I thought for whatever reason it would be so much fun to just torture myself for like 3 hours, 4 hours, and attempt to make something with chopsticks. I thought I was gonna make like 4 dishcloths in a day somehow, despite me never making a dishcloth, and I was gonna test it out on like 4 different types of chopsticks. No, that would have been absolutely miserable. So I decided to just do like 2 rounds of purling, 2 rounds of knitting, test it out, and I'm very glad I have knitting needles. Knitting needles are great, guys. Yeah, but I'm pretty much planning on making a series of different household items and attempting to knit with them. I've already got some pretty funny ones that I don't even know if will be possible, but I think it'd be funny to try, just entertaining wise, a fun experiment. But yeah, this is kind of how it's going. I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish, but hopefully it will be a kitchen towel. Obviously it'll not be a great one because the tension is just whack. Yeah, so, but I thought I would share that because technically it is going to be an ongoing whip in my making. And yeah, honestly, I like the feeling of this cotton though. Like, I think it'll be a great towel. Very excited about that. My next whip-ish is more like plans to be a whip. I've started the gauge swatch. That's all that matters, right? So in my previous podcast, I talked about some yarn that I had gotten and my plans for it. Well, I have started my plans-ish. Gauge swatching is an important part. But this is the fiber. It's a acrylic, wool, and like cashmere, like polyamide, which I still don't know if that means it's cashmere or if it's like fake cashmere. Please explain. But yeah, this is my gauge swatch. Just plain stockinette. Very simple, very pretty, like nothing crazy. It's a very soft fabric, so I think this will make a great sweater, and I love the thickness. I think it's gonna be perfect for fall and spring. But that's kind of what I'm thinking of making. So here's sort of my like sketch, and it's not perfect. I'm not an artist. But essentially I want it to be like a 0 ease, maybe even like 1/2 inch of negative ease type of pullover. I used to have this like crew neck pullover that I would wear all the time. I loved it. It was very form-fitted, but it felt cozy and comfortable, and that's kind of what I'm going for with this. So I want to try a v-neck. If not, I'll just end up doing like the crew style here. But I really want to add the Latvian braid along the edging. I think that would be so pretty. So I'm going to attempt to make this and like pretty much follow stitch pattern, or not follow pattern. Like, I don't know, there probably is a pattern out there, but I'm going to try my best. But I really like this type of idea of having it, like the seam in a sense, be the Latvian braid here and have it sort of roll over. I don't know how well that's going to work. We'll have to see. I might be in over my head because the last time I wanted to make a pattern, I started it and realized the short rows were going to be really difficult with what I was doing and decided I didn't want to pick it up. So that cardigan is still in the works, but it has been dormant and probably will remain dormant for a while. But yeah, that's kind of like what my idea is I want it to have the Latvian braid going across the back for like a detailing. I would love to have it along the neckline. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Don't know. But I for sure can do it along the hem and like the cuffs hem as well. So that's kind of what my goal is, but we'll have to see. Ugh, I don't know if it's going to come to, but I would love for it to. I think it would be such a pretty, cute, just staple. That's all I want, is just some staple things in my wardrobe that I made, that I love, that I can wear and love. But that's where I'm at. I haven't casted it actually on. I just need to finish taking the measurements of my swatch, see the difference of like how much it grew, and then figure out how many stitches I'm going to need for all of the measurements on my body. I'll let you know how that goes. If you're at all interested, I might do a behind the scenes and have like a video in the future of like attempting to make my first pattern or something like that. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, because I might just do it. Okay, that's really all the whips, like current whips that I have, but I do have some future plans. Like I mentioned, I really think it would be cool to make like a backpack, a granny square backpack, and I mean like a functional backpack. So I would have to figure out how like the flap, I don't think it would be like a zipper backpack. I'm not even gonna worry about zippers. Maybe I'll do zippers on the inside for like pockets and that sort of thing, but I would want a backpack that like can go over and it has like the flap in a sense. Like, I'll probably find a picture and stick it here just to show you guys sort of what I'm thinking of. But I think that would just be like cute, and I think it'd be fun to make, and it'd be like something new to try. I also am planning on this, like today, like I said, I really want to crank out a ton of project bags, because as you can see, I have all of the project bags that I've made in use, and I'm planning on making more projects, so I think I need some more project bags. That's what I'm going to be working on today. I really hope that I can get some done, because I bought a ton of like summer themed fabric. I was going to do a ton of sewing, and I have not. And I am like getting really close to like starting to be in the fall mindset that I get in every year. And once I'm like hooked on fall, like I'm done with summer. I don't think about it. I don't care to do anything summer related. And so I don't want to fall into the trap of getting so excited for fall and then not being able to finish any of my summer plans or ideas that I had. So my best option is crank out a ton of project bags that were those summer aesthetic fabrics that I had today. And then once I do that and I get all my summer sewing done, then I can start thinking about fall. That's what I've told myself. But I need to make those project bags, because otherwise that fabric is going to stay there, and then I'm going to forget next year that I have it, and then I'm going to buy more fabric, and then I'm going to realize that I still didn't do what I wanted to do last summer, and probably won't do it again next summer. So that's my goal. I do have another knitting project that I want to work on. So this is Cascade's Pima cotton, I believe. I got it at a thrift store. I think I have 4 other skeins, and I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with it yet, but I just really want to use this. I've had it in my stash. I don't know guys. It's a DK weight. I was thinking about the Tulsa tee, but I just, again, am not huge with the summer t-shirts. I barely wear t-shirts as they are. I pretty much just use them for like playing softball, and so like I wouldn't be playing softball with something knitted. But I don't know. I was thinking about that. Otherwise, I could maybe try and make like the Breeze bag, or just a bag in general. I think I could try and do that. I think that would be fun. But I don't know if DK weight will be good. But that's kind of what I've kept in my bag. So I've had this like new idea of, if I keep it with me in my bag in sight, it'll be in the back of my mind, and I'll like also see it in the front of my head. In my eyes, I'll see it. And I'm hoping that by doing that, I get more inspired to work with it. I don't know how well it's working yet. I mean, I did start the one small stadium bag, so, and that was yarn that I tried that theory with. I tried to do it with my Lanark sweater to maybe find the inspiration and the motivation to pick up for sleeves, but that still has not happened. Yay. I do think that once I finish my Lakes pullover, I probably will at least pick up the sleeves, because I know that's what it is I just need to pick up the stitches for the sleeves, and then I can start working on the brioche and I can finish that sweater, because I do want to wear it for the fall. I think it's going to be a beautiful fall sweater and winter sweater, and like the zip, oh, I'm so excited. But I need to finish this Lakes pullover, and then I just need to sit down and tell myself, Elisa, pick up the stitches. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta do. Hopefully that will happen. I don't have any new acquisitions, which is good. I've not bought yarn. Really just the extra skein that I needed to finish my Lakes pullover. Other than that, that's all that I have for you guys today. Nice, short and sweet podcast. I hope that you enjoyed listening to it. If you're at all excited about any of the future ideas that I have, let me know down below, and I can get working on those, because your guys' views and your guys' comments and engagement really help inspire me to continue making these videos. And it's just a fun little community that we have going on here. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day and you enjoy your knitting. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!